You think your shyness is protecting you, but it's actually useless, and I'm going to prove it to you. There's something called the spotlight effect. It makes you believe that everyone is watching you, like you're being judged all the time. Over time, this turns into a fear of crowded places, and you start to hold yourself back more and more, afraid of doing something wrong and everyone laughing at you. This is what's happening inside your mind. But now look at reality. There's a huge difference between what you imagine and what's actually happening. The truth is, no one is paying that much attention to you. Everyone is too busy thinking about themselves, thinking about what they're going to say, how they're being seen, and their own insecurities, while you're stuck in your head. Everyone else is stuck in theirs. That's why you feel exposed, when in reality, you're just another person there. Shyness seems like a small, harmless insecurity, but in a way, it's tied to your ego, because it makes you act like you're the center of attention, like everyone is watching you, but they're not. When this starts to make sense, not just in theory, but inside you, everything begins to change, because you step out of your head and you stop overthinking, replaying everything you said, and acting like you're being judged all the time, not because you suddenly became confident, but because the pressure you created in your mind starts to fade. And when that pressure disappears, you begin to act with more freedom. You say and do what you want, without worrying so much about what others think, because you understand that no one is paying that much attention to you. And that's the point. Your freedom begins when you stop believing that everyone is watching you all the time. Because the truth is simple, no one is paying that much attention. Once you understand this, the hardest part comes next. Facing the opportunities you missed, every conversation you never started, every person you never met, every moment you never got to live, not because you didn't have the chance, but because of shyness. The problem is, in the moment, it doesn't feel like a big deal. It just feels like another situation you let pass, just another time you kept to yourself, but it adds up. And over time, it starts to cost you. That's the real problem. It's not just about one missed opportunity. It's about the effect this has over time, because it doesn't happen just once. It happens over and over again, on different days, in different situations, in moments that could change the course of your life forever. You don't even notice it in the moment. But little by little, it starts to create a void inside you, a feeling that you could be living more, but you're not, that something is holding you back, even when opportunities show up and time keeps passing, whether you act or not. Phases change, people move on, opportunities come and go, and many of them don't come back. When you start to see this more clearly, that nagging thought hits, that you could have done things differently, that maybe one simple action could have changed everything, but you didn't. It wasn't because you weren't capable. It's because you let shyness control you. That's the highest price. It goes beyond what you lost, and it reaches what you never got to live. The longer you stay like this, the more it builds up, until living less than you could starts to feel normal. If there's a price to staying like this, then there's a way out. And it starts with something simple. You stop acting like you're being watched all the time, because that's the pattern that keeps shyness alive. It's not a lack of ability, and it's definitely not a lack of personality. It's the habit of constantly watching yourself, overthinking every word, trying to control everything, and avoiding any mistakes. Like every small slip is something serious, but it's not. As long as you keep acting this way, nothing will change, because you're still stuck in your own head. So the first step is to change that, not by trying to be perfect, but by accepting that you're human and that you're going to make mistakes. Sometimes you'll say something awkward. Sometimes you won't know what to say. Sometimes you'll feel uncomfortable. That's normal. The problem was never the mistake. It was the meaning you gave to it. You act like messing up defines who you are, but it doesn't. It's just part of the process. When you stop putting pressure on yourself all the time, things start to change. You start paying more attention to what's happening and less to yourself. You stop trying to control everything and start letting things flow more naturally. That alone changes the way you behave, not because something changed around you, but because you stepped out of your own head. That's what breaks shyness. It's not about thinking more. It's about stopping that constant need to watch yourself and starting to live. Because in the end, what holds you back isn't other people. It's the way you see yourself in front of them. And when that changes, you change with it. In theory, it's simple. You just need to stop caring about what others think. But in practice, it doesn't work like that. Because in the moment, when you're right there in front of someone, you don't remember any of it. That's why most people stay the same. They understand what needs to be done, but they can't put it into practice because they don't have direction. And that's not by accident. It's because no one taught you what to do, how to act, and how to avoid falling back into the same pattern. That's why I organized all of this in a simple way, into a clear path you can follow in practice and break out of this pattern. I called it Bulletproof Confidence in 7 days. If you want to follow this path, you'll find the link in the description or in the pinned comment below.